A situation in which a difficult choice has to be made between two or more alternatives, especially equally undesirable ones. That is the Google definition of what a dilemma is. I'm sure you guys could have guessed that, given what it is, but I figured I'd let you guys know, given the topic of today's video. I'm in a little bit of a dilemma. But first, let me explain kind of why. So I started this channel back in, was it March of 2024? It's the same year as it is currently, but still, I started this channel a couple of months ago, and I started with the intent of uploading something weekly to help build a schedule and to help have it so that I'm always putting something out there. And I've done that successfully for the last several months, every single week, whether it was on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or I think a couple times I did it on Thursday. You guys had a video, and I had a video that I made of me playing this game and trying to get the golden frying pan, because that's the whole name of it, the golden frying pan man, right? And whenever I started this channel, TF2 was in a lot more of a rough spot. It hadn't gotten any major updates in years and years, and it still hasn't. And the bots were making it so that it was literally unplayable. But still, I love TF2. It's one of my most... To say it's my most played game is obvious, but the amount of time that I have put into this game, aside from playing it, is abundant. But something that I'm sure you've realized is at this point, the bots are no longer as big of an issue. And while we also got a summer update, which is nice, you know, I don't want to admonish that or anything like that. But it's still not great. They are fulfilling parts of their promise, but TF2 still has a lot of things wrong with it. It's only been like 2 months since they stopped the bots, right? And you'll still find a couple bots in your lobbies. Of course, it's way better, and I don't want to sound like I'm being ungrateful or anything like that, but still, it's a fact of life. We haven't gotten major updates. We haven't gotten actual real improvement and real attention from Valve. It just hasn't happened yet. And well, there have been a couple different thoughts on how to do that. The most prevalent one is to boycott TF2 and Valve in general. Instead of giving them your money, you need to emphasize and really prove to them that we want change to be done through our wallet, which I believe to be the most effective way to do something, right? To boycott it, because that is the most effective way to. It's the most effective way to affect a corporation. You know, everything that they're gonna do is catered towards being profitable, right? Not necessarily being the best or being, good. It's all about being profitable. And so if you ever want them to be good, you have to make that profitable, right? And to make something profitable, obviously, it goes without saying, to make something unprofitable will make it so that it is not, they won't want to continue doing it. And that's where our dilemma comes from. To boycott TF2, I would have to no longer be buying the tickets that are necessary, because for those who do not understand the process, I have to buy a ticket. It's only 99 cents to play this specific. It's like a lottery. It's literally a lottery where I put a little bit of money in and then I don't expect anything. I can get a bunch of items, and one of the items that I could get could have thousands of dollars in worth, and that's the golden frying pan. And there's an alternative version of this game, which I don't put in money. And in that version, I don't have the opportunity to get the golden frying pan, which is the entire point of this video. And it worked out really well, where this would have been about basically one spin, because you have to do 4 tickets for one actual chance. You have to complete what's called a tour. to get an actual chance of getting the golden frying pan. And obviously, I have to buy those. I have to buy them. I have to interact with the market. I have to basically, I have to pay Valve, right? I have to pay Valve to participate in this video. But that goes against my thought of improvement, because more than I want me to be consistent with this video, I want TF2 to improve. It's a game that I love so much and has mattered to me so much for so long. I know it's not in its heyday anymore, and it never will be, more than likely, but for it to get more attention, more love, an actual team behind it, I think that it could be so much more to so many people, right? To get a lot more quality behind it, to get a lot more care, which is just not something that we're seeing right now. And I think the most effective way to do that is to boycott them. And I hope that you guys can understand why, but obviously, if I boycott them, I can't make this series because I have to give the money to Valve, which sucks. It sucks. And it's gotten me in a dilemma where either I can stop doing this thing I enjoy, and it's not like there's a billion people here who are waiting on my every breath to hear what I have to say, but I enjoy it. I enjoy being here and talking and improving, and it's a little bit ironic that this video is like I'm for those who haven't realized, I'm not playing right now. I'm just kind of talking. That would be hard to realize. So if you did realize, kudos to you. That's really impressive. But nonetheless, I feel like I have improved. The reason why I didn't do it, I tried to, but I've had a really long day, and this is something that I wanted to get right. I wanted to be able to have it all flow and have my attention be on this, because I think that this topic deserves my full attention. So what do? I'm faced with the dilemma of either quitting this series and no longer uploading and stuff like that, or figuring out a different way, but not being true to the name and the nature of this. That's a really good shot. The name and the nature of this channel. Or I can continue to buy things from Valve and from TF2 and be kind of feeding into this degradation. Is that the proper word? The problem. Feed into the problem, right? And I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. I think it's pretty reasonable why I don't want to do that. And so let's go into both sides of the dilemma a little bit more extensively. On one side, I can either quit and figure out other things to do, which I would preferably do TF2 still. I think that would be the most fun. I still enjoy TF2, and as of recent, as a matter of fact, they have been getting better, right? A lot of bots have been gone, and the games are playable right now. Also, I've realized that just because I'm getting better at talking in this setting does not mean I'm really actually getting good at talking over video game footage. Because the thing about this series and this game mode specifically is it kind of gets brain dead. Not super brain dead, but like eventually things get really comfortable. You don't really you can just keep doing the same couple motions. You don't really have to be invested, and so it's a lot easier to do this in this game mode than it would be other game modes. And that was intentional. I did that intentionally because I was very, very bad at talking while playing games. Clearly, I'm still not the best at it because this is pre-recorded, but still, I do feel like I have gotten better. And the reason why I brought that up is because if I were to change into a more casual game mode, while the quality might be a bit more askew, it might be a bit more inconsistent, um, and the time will be less defined. Because another good thing about the timing of this is it's always roughly around 40 minutes, and then that typically gets cut down to about 35 to 20 minutes on average. And so if I did change it, it could be from 5 minutes. It could be a 5 minute game to a 50-minute game to an hour and a half game. Those aren't common, obviously, but still, it's a lot less defined. It's a lot less promised, if you will. And so that is a certain concern for me. I think that it isn't all good, right? But it would cause me to work and improve on actually talking in a more fluid and unpredictable way, right? Because that was one of the reasons why I did this. There was many reasons why I made this channel. It was for consistency. It was for quality, and it was for improvement, right? To have something good out every week where I can see that I have improved. That was the core of this channel, and I'd say generally I'm there. I'm not there, but I have improved with my consistency and my ability to talk. But as I said earlier, the time won't be as defined. The quality of matches will not be as good because, you can still have people on the other team that are cheating. And you can have it so that people are racist and trolls and generally terrible. And the thing about this specific game mode is you find that less because you have to spend money, right? So the people here tend to be a little bit more invested in the game, when trolls and things of that nature tend to be a lot more loose. This is just a medium for them to be terrible in, while this is a lot more of a game to play and experience and enjoy in the case of many people in this game mode, right? And so I'm not 100% certain on the quality. The quality might be better, it might be worse. I suppose if you think about it, it's kind of my job to make the quality of a match good or bad, even if it's inherently bad. That's kind of the job of an entertainer. That's the entire job of a director, right? A bad movie can be palatable if it's directed properly. But anyway, so yeah, that is the first aspect of the dilemma. Either I can choose to continue the playing TF2, and I can stop playing Man vs. Machine and stop buying and effectively boycott Valve, but I'll no longer be doing the literal namesake of this channel, which is trying to get a golden frying pan. Or here's the other option. I can continue playing Man vs. Machine, Man Up, spending $4 a month on tickets and things like that, and just keep the ball rolling and keep trying to get that golden frying pan. And the pros for this one's going to be a lot shorter because it's a lot more. It's just change or don't change. And whenever you don't change, that option it's safe. We already know what it is. It's what you are seeing. It's what you have seen. It's what I'm familiar with at this point. I mean, I haven't been doing it forever, but I've been doing it for 2.5 months, right? I've been doing it for about 2.5 months at this point, which it feels like I've been doing it longer and shorter somehow. I don't know if 2.5 months is. Oh wait, no, that's definitely not right. I've been doing it for closer to six or yeah, right? Yeah, I've been doing it closer to 6 months, so about half a year. And it's just keep buying and keep trying, and at that point it is a thing where it's like, how important do you think that $4 are? It's not like I'm buying a whole lot in the market, and it's not like anyone else is gonna really care if some nobody stops paying the wow, I went flying there. It's not like people are gonna particularly stop or like be, wow, this kid is no longer buying a ticket uh, once a week anymore. We're in dire shape. Things really need to change around here. That's not gonna happen. But that's a terrible way to look at it. That is a terrible, awful way, and I will die on that hill. You are as powerful as you let yourself be. Obviously, there's some people that inherently have more power, but whenever every single person, every single consumer thinks that, where it's like, I'm not really getting that much, and it doesn't really matter, like, I'm sure somebody else will do it. You are nullifying every other person, because you have to assume that if you are the everyday man, if you are their common person that buys from there, right? If you're the small guy, most people are small guys, right? And therefore, you are the majority, and you hold a lot of the power. And so whenever you decide that it's fine, you have to assume everyone else is doing the same thing. That's what I assume, because honestly, that's just how it is. Don't just like be content with like thinking that you're no big deal, right? We're all no big deal, but when we're together, we're a huge deal. And a lot of people struggle with the belief that their thing will matter. They'll write themselves off, and it's stupid. You should never do that. In no situation should you write off your vote, your purchase, your opinion. There are some times where people care a bit too much about their own opinion, but generally, it is so important to care about what you say and to believe that what you think will affect something. It is important, and you can make a difference. You alone cannot, but you, with everyone else, easily can, right? And so whenever I say a boycott and a belief to boycott this, I'm not just saying that I want to improve upon the game. I genuinely believe that this will, if everybody on TF2 genuinely takes it to heart and genuinely cares, right? TF2 would shape up within a year, which you're like, wow, that's not that fast. For games, first of all, that's super fast. And second of all, TF2 is over 10 years old. It's 16 or 17. So 1 year to 16, whenever the last 6 years we've had nothing, it's a great idea. Yeah, that's rapid. That's incredibly fast. And so I think you guys know what conclusion I've come to. I plan on continuing this series until I don't want to. Until I get the golden frying pan. Right? I plan on continuing this series, and I plan on doing it on casual. Because I'm not competitive, and I'm not smart enough to find servers that are good. So I'm just going to do casual. And it will be different. It'll be a little bit different. It'll be a lot more chaotic. I can tell you that, just from the get-go. It's gonna be a bit crazy, and it might get worse in the beginning. To be frank with you, it probably will. But despite that, I think it will be a good change. Now, I'm sure you're curious. Well, if that's what you're doing, um, how long until you go back to the golden frying pan? And that is simply until they make an actual change. Until I believe that there is a substantial amount of people that are effectively working on this game and actually caring for it. And honestly, it doesn't even need to be about TF2. I need to believe that Valve is spending the money that I'm giving them. I need to believe that they're spending it wisely and not just doing nothing with it and not just taking advantage of people with it. Right? That is what I need to see. And that might be in a serious update. That might be in a new game coming out. It might be in many different things. But it won't. It's not probable. I won't lie. And so I might be boycotting them for a while. I never really bought too much from them to start off with. So it's not going to be too big of a difference aside from this channel, obviously. But it is something that I'm thinking about, and I want you guys to know that it's not something that I just willy-nilly wanted to end this channel, because I'm really happy with what I have here. It's definitely more for me than it is anybody else. But still, I generally really enjoy just being able to go back and see how I thought on things, and even just half a year ago. My life has changed so much in just half a year. Consistency and friendships and general relationships have been so different, because I mean, it makes sense. Right now I'm at young adulthood when people are going through so much change so fast. It's one of the final big changes of your life, right? You get so many whenever you're young, and then as you get older they get a little bit more and more rare. And so this is not something that whenever I look back on, I see so much in so little time. But yeah, I'll ask you guys, do you guys have any dilemmas? And if you do, what are they? You don't have to tell us, but you have to think of them. And whenever you think of a dilemma, dilemmas are good. I think dilemmas generally are a good thing, because they make you think really hard. Obviously, it's not easy whenever you're like, oh, who would you rather kill, your mom and your dad? Most people are not going to find that dilemma fun or appealing to think about, but it's a brain exercise. It's important to put yourself through strain and to grow through that. But I think the reason why people don't like them, especially real life dilemmas, is because it's a weird relationship with control. Most people want control over something. That's like the core of the American dream. It's that you can control your destiny. You can control what you do, how hard you work, and stuff like that. And you can control who you are. But whenever you have a dilemma, people don't want control. They want something else to decide it for them, because then if the dilemma goes wrong, or if it hurts and sucks, they can blame something else. But accountability is vital. You only deserve control if you can take accountability. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. And a lot of people don't take accountability. I know that this is me, right? This is something that I'm working on, and it's a promise that I made, and it's a promise that I'm going to have to go back on. Not necessarily entirely go back on it, but, you know, it's not something that I'm going to be able to fulfill the way that I was anticipating. But that's me, right? No one else. I haven't talked to anybody else about this. Um, no one would talk to me about it anyway. And I doubt that if they did, they would care a whole lot or really see the aspects that I'm talking about. But still, it is something that I think is important. I think it's good to know what your stances are on something, and to know even if it's hard, and even if you bet the wrong thing, even if you bet the wrong thing, at least you know that you're the one who bet it, right? Something my friend told me is adulthood is kind of just being okay with a lot of disappointment. That was a really good save. Did anybody else see that? That was a really good save. I like that save. I didn't even see that he was dead. I just saw that he was on low health, and then he died, instantly got him back up. That was cool, and it was like a cool glide bot. That was awesome. But my friend was telling me that a part of adulthood is just kind of like betting and not knowing if you bet right, you know? And it's fine. It's fine. Like, obviously there's disappointments, there's what ifs and stuff like that, but you're not going to live a perfect life. You will reach a dilemma. There will be more serious dilemmas in my life than should I play the video game, or should I play the video game slightly differently? You know, that's, all things considered, not that drastic. But there will be more important things. And whenever you're willing to take responsibility and take accountability for the small things, the big things will also follow through. And I guess that's true for life. There's a lot to life, you know, a lot to chew on, a lot to think of, a lot to consider, you know. But you shouldn't let the fear of what life is dictate what it could be, right? Maybe you should ask that girl. Maybe you should ask for a raise. Maybe you should go to the gym. Maybe one thing or another. I'm dealing with a bit more of a serious dilemma right now of working on YouTube versus going outside, because I believe that going outside is the most beneficial thing you can do. I think that YouTube is, and the internet in general, doesn't hold a candle to real life connections, experiences, and relationships. It just doesn't. It's good as kind of like a side thing. It's like reading. It's good, but generally the best thing for you is other people. And that's a dilemma with this weekend, for example. It was beautiful out, but I had a video that I needed to get done. It's this Tommy Inna video that it's only 5 minutes, but I've been working on it for 3 months now, because I haven't gotten in the swing of it, because there's been really pretty days out, and I've been hanging out with friends, and so many reasons, right? They're like valid reasons, but it's straight up, you can either have this good thing, working on a YouTube video, or this other good thing, going outside and talking with people. And I do go back and forth, because there's more to it than that, but I won't get into it. And it's difficult. But I think I know my answer, even if it's not really the best one. And that is YouTube. You can't unbe a YouTuber, right? I'll work on it, and I'll have my time for it, and I'll work on being there for each other right now. But once you get famous, you're famous, right? Even if it's like who's that type of thing, there's still gonna be a lot of people that are like out for you, right? That look at you skewed, especially those who are around you. They making friends is difficult. Making genuine friends that you can trust, because you don't know if they like you for the YouTuber or if they like you for the guy, right? And so that's why right now I'm focusing on having life experiences, because and talking to people. I'm fine, because honestly, it's even better, because it gives YouTube more stuff for whenever I'm eventually, because I believe wholeheartedly that someday I'll be a YouTuber. I'm not stopping until I am. I believe wholeheartedly that someday I'll get there. And whenever I do, I'll be able to talk to people about things that I did instead of just working on YouTube. Because you have all these creators now that are like, oh, all I did was YouTube. All I did was YouTube. And I had no idea what to do once I got to be a YouTuber. And I don't want to do that, right? I want to have a life outside of YouTube, and I want to have people outside of YouTube and experiences and stuff like that. I want to have interests, and I have interests. I have things outside of YouTube, but it's a thing of priority. It will happen, and I do love YouTube, and I do love creating things, and I do want to get this video out, and I do believe that it will be good. But I also think that it's important to live a life in today and in reality, and go outside and touch grass and stuff like that. Haha, touch grass, right? But it is important because a lot of people have faced this dilemma that I'm facing, where it's like, either I can have a life or I can have my dreams. But I mean, that's a terrible way to look at it. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna bite off everything, I'm gonna do it all, but like, that's not necessarily the way that I'm looking at it, right? I'm not saying I'm gonna do it all at the exact same time in a rapid sense. I'm saying that, like, it's gonna get done, right? I won't stop until it does, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna get done right now. And there's more to life than one thing, you know. Having that next thing will not make you happy. Straight up. Having the thing you think you want won't make you happy, because once you have it, you'll just want something new. And so right now, I'm basically just getting to a point where I can appreciate what I have, instead of what I want, right? Because once I get to a certain point, I'll be like, oh, what if I had this? What if I had that? And at this point, I'm just happy with what I got. And I'm trying to maximize that. I'm trying to really, really, really appreciate what I have. And it's been difficult. Oh, this is a funny clip. Wait, watch this. What an idiot. But yeah, I think many creators look at it and look into it, and it's kind of backed. It's government backed. It's society backed, right? Where people really like for you to be really devoted to one thing. Greatness tends to be obsession. You ever notice that? Whenever you find somebody that's great, that people still talk about for one thing or another, it tends to be because they devoted their entire life to that one thing. And if, like, you have Mr. Beast, for example, he devoted his entire life to it, and for a while people called him great. Now they're just calling him problematic because he's a bad person. But yeah, that's going to be today's video. Next week is going to be a little bit different, but I'll see you next week.